Jeffrey Paul Ross for nextlevelguitar.com. Today we're going to be working on a jump swing boogie-woogie blues in the key of C. We'll be going over like the boogie-woogie bass pattern, some rhythm chords, and if we have time we'll do some solo lines. So talk a little bit about this genre. The guys that I would recommend looking for is like Bill Jennings and Tiny Grimes. Tiny Grimes and the Rockin' Highlanders. He actually played a tenor guitar. Great guitar player. Oscar Moore, the guy that played with the King Cole Trio, is on a lot of stuff from the 40s, doing the jump swing boogie-woogie blues stuff. And also late 40s, T-Bone Walker, late 40s, early 50s, B.B. King. And this style of music was mostly played on Gibson fat body arch tops with the P90 pickups, and usually using the neck pickup, the pickup closest to the neck. So this is going to be in the key of C, and I've got this little chord intro that we're going to use to kick the song off. But the way you form the chord, we're going to start here with our first finger on the 5th fret on the high E and B strings. Okay, now we're going to stack it. We're going to go up here to the 8th fret on the D string with our 3rd finger. That's a B flat note. Okay. Then with our 2nd finger, we are on the 7th fret on the G string on a D note. And then we've got that little bar again that I showed you earlier. Now the next chord, you leave all of this the same, and you're just going to move this up 1 note. Now, the next chord is a C diminished chord. First finger on the D string on the 7th fret. Next is your 3rd finger on the G string on the 8th fret. Now back with your 2nd finger on the B string, back down on the 7th fret. And now we're back up on the 8th fret on the high E string. It's a C note. So we've got and we're just going to give this little shot here. And this is your first finger there on that A note on the D string on the 7th fret. And you can bar, you can bar it straight down. And now we're going to put our, well, some guys use their 2nd finger there. I use my 3rd finger. We're just going to bar the B and the high E string. So. Now the rhythm, I'm going ba-dum bum bum. Okay, and now we'll build the song. I'll do the boogie-woogie bass riff, then I'll play some rhythm chords, and then go back and play a couple of lines. So we'll start down here on the C note. Okay, you know this little C chord here in first position. That's the note that we're starting with right there, with our first finger on the 3rd fret on the A string. And now what I'm doing with my 3rd finger, I'm sliding from the 5th fret, and we're still on the A string, and I'm sliding up to the 7th fret. Then the next note is the G string on the the G note on the D string on the 5th fret. Yeah, I'm hitting each one twice. And then up a whole step on the D string again. Then up a half step, gives you that 7th. And then I'm just going back down. So once you get used to doing that, then you can move up to, so we're going to be 1-4-5 here, C, F, and G, just a standard blues, 12-bar blues progression. Now you can either go here or up here. So let's try the low one. Okay, so now the next pattern, we're going to start here on the 1st fret on the low E string. That's an F note. And it's the same pattern that we did here. Go up to the 3rd fret and slide to the 5th. Now we're going to go to the C note with our 1st finger on the 3rd fret on the A string. Whole step up with our 3rd finger. Half step up, just moving our 3rd finger. So up to there we've got. Let me see something. Yeah, the pattern on the C chord, you do it twice. And the pattern on the F chord, you just do it once. Back to the C. And then when you go back to the C, you just do it once there. So. Okay, now to go up to the 5 chord. Now a lot of times it's more of a jazzy change. Rather than going straight to the 5, they do what's called like a 2-5-1, where you're basically going up to a D minor, into a G9 or a 7, and the bass would play something like. So we're going to start on the 10th fret with our 3rd finger on the low E string, and we're going to be on the D note. Then the next note, we're going to drop down to the A string on the 7th fret with our 1st finger, and that's an E note. And we're going to walk up chromatically to that note, which is it's a G note. And so I'm just going up chromatically from there, using my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger, and then for the last note I slide with my 3rd finger. And then I go back down, but I don't go back down chromatically. I use like the major scale. So we got the G, F, and then we're on the A string now. 10th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret. Back to the 10th fret on the low E string, it's a D note. And then resolve it on the C. And you can kind of, you know, kind of give it that little, you know, that kind of feel. So I'll play the whole thing. And what I usually finish this off with, I go, and then that turns it around to the next pattern. And that's, so we'll hit that C note on the 8th fret on the low E string with our first finger. And then we're going to jump. And we're going to jump to the 12th fret on the A string. And that's an A note. And then we're going to catch the note right under it. And so, just like that. And then the next note will be on the 10th fret on the A string with our first finger. And that's a G. And then we'll come back up to the A note there on the 12th fret on the A string. So I'll play that whole thing. That's how that should sound. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the idea. I just showed you the bass pattern. For my next lesson, I'll be showing you some rhythm chords and accents to play. And then following that, we'll get into some lead solo work that you can play over top of all of that. So once again, this has been Jeffrey Paul Ross for NextLevelGuitar.com, reminding you that we do have over 850 examples of various types of lessons for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So we'll see you next time.